Hi there, welcome to another Friday Findings video. Today I thought I would show you an interesting technique that you can add to your jewelry making skills, and that's crocheting wire. Even if you've never crocheted before, you'll be able to do this. It's really a very simple chain stitch. And the first thing that you'll need to do is string your beads onto some wire. This is 26 gauge craft wire. You want to use a fairly thin gauge wire, probably nothing heavier than 24, 26, 28 is good. And then you need to string your beads onto your wire before you get started. So I've chosen some green beads. And then you need a crochet hook. And they come in lots of different sizes, and if you have some at home, just experiment with different sizes and see what works best for the look you like. I'm going to choose this J, or size 10. It's kind of just a medium size hook. Now normally when we start crocheting with string, we make a slip knot, but we don't need to do that with wire. What we're going to do is make a loop and leave about a 3-inch tail. So you want the tail pointing to your dominant hand, and you want the short end of your loop, you want the short part crossing over the long part. And you always want to just leave your wire on the spool because you'll use quite a bit. In my experiments, it's about 6 times more than the length that you're covering. So then you're going to hold the crochet hook in your dominant hand, and you're going to come up from below that loop. You're going to take the wire that's going off to your non-dominant side and hold it with your non-dominant or left hand if you're right-handed. Bring the wire under the hook and then back over it. And then you can just pull that, that wire will go right under the hook, and you could just pull a loop of wire through that loop. And I'll show you one more time. Just hold the wire with your non-dominant hand. Hold the hook with your dominant. The wire goes under the hook and then back over so that it catches right on that hook. And then you can just catch that and pull it through the loop. And with wire especially, I want to pull up just a little bit here so that it's not too tight. So when you're crocheting with wire, it's a good idea to do about 2 chains before you bring up a bead. This just gives it some security. And then you just slide up a bead, and you hold it in place there with the thumb and index finger of your non-dominant hand. And it's just the same. Now notice how I have the wire on my left hand since I'm right-handed. Some people do it like this, but I usually just have the wire go over my index finger and then under the other 3, and I kind of use the other 3 to hold it and just control it. So you just hold that bead with your thumb and index finger, and again the wire goes behind, under the hook and over it, pull through, and that's it. Now depending on how much spacing you want between your beads, you can do as many chains in between them as you want, or none. You could have a bead every chain. You just slide up a bead, hold it, and chain. And you can do good size beads on this. They don't have to be tiny. Just depends on the look you want. And always leave yourself a little bit of slack over here. You'll find yourself kind of pushing the beads down. Now if you have crocheted in the past, you know that we always try to have even tension. You don't have to worry about that here. Some loops are going to be bigger, some are going to be smaller, and that's part of that lacy look that we want. Now when you're ready to finish, you want to finish with at least 2 chains. So 1, 2, and then trim yourself about a 3-inch tail on this end as well, and then just wrap the wire around the hook one more time and pull it through. and that will be done. And what I like to do for the end here is just kind of pinch it so that they will fit. And there's a length of crocheted chain. Now what can you do with this? Well, here's a bracelet I made. It has 5 lengths of 28 gauge copper wire that I crocheted with beads. I think I skipped one chain in between each bead, and then all of the wires would just gather together at each end. And then what I did, I took a piece of wire, like 20 gauge, made a loop, threaded all of these wire ends through the loop, just like this. If I were to finish off this, just thread it through the loop, bring it over, wrap it around a few times, trim it off, and then put on a bead cone to hide those ends. And that's how you would finish that. So this is a bracelet that I made, and I kind of just lightly braided these together, and it's rather fun. You could also do this exact same thing, making a multi-strand necklace with as many or as few as you want. Now what else can you crochet with? Well, of course, you can crochet with crochet cotton. That's all this is. This is the stuff that's used to make fine lace work like doilies. But here's a piece I crocheted, and I used a smaller hook for this because since I was doing the cotton, my loops weren't nearly as big, and I think I skipped a few stitches, or did a few chains in between each bead. And this would make a great bracelet, a necklace. You could even make these into earrings by using smaller beads and crocheting just closer together and make some earrings, make a tassel. You can also crochet with monofilament. This is hard to see because it's supposed to be. It's clear. I think fishing line, only very fine. This is a product you buy in the jewelry department. And it's just fine nylon. And you do it the exact same way, only you get the illusion of the beads just floating. This is really pretty done with white pearls or crystals. A nice bridal look. You can also crochet with any wire that you can find, like the colored wires. And they will become, the colored wires, just like the copper wire here, these colored wires are very much part of the design. And you can crochet with bead stringing wire, which is much springier. It's not going to bend and hold its shape like the other wires will. And if you do that, you'll be finishing these with crimps. So you can use bead stringing wire. So those are just some ideas for you of things that you can do with a simple crocheted chain stitch and make some very different jewelry. If you like this video, please be sure that you click subscribe so you subscribe to my channel and see more like it. And also click like and check out the other videos up on the screen. I think you might enjoy those as well. Thanks so much for watching Keepsake Crafts videos. Please be sure to check out my blog, keepsakecrafts.net. Happy creating. Bye-bye.